So this is actually my favorite part of the conference, when we get to think about all of the amazing things that are happening in the schools and all the work that you do every day. So I just wanted to, in case I actually haven't introduced myself, I think my name is Lee Fleming. I'm a school development coach, and I get to be one of many people who have put this conference together. And there's like so many of them that if I thank them, it would take about 25 minutes. But there is one person in particular who really needs to be recognized for the efforts, and that is Krista Clark. So Krista, can you stand up for just a minute? Thank you. So as we talk a little bit more about what it is that you're doing every day that we're trying to support, I want to recognize several groups of people. And so the first group of people I want to kind of talk about are the certified teachers. So if I could have the certified teachers, there's a lot of you, so there's 168 actually, so could I have you raise your hand for just a minute? Just raise it high if you're a certified teacher. The certified teachers are those in our network who've demonstrated a really strong understanding of both designing and implementing PBL in their classroom as the primary mode of instruction. And once those certified teachers have some opportunities to go to conferences and do some work together with our team, they can become certified trainers. And we have a small number of certified trainers, but I would like to have the certified trainers, if you could stand up, please. If your name is up here, will you stand? Thank you. Let's give these guys a round of applause. Thank you so much. The certified trainers have demonstrated excellence in facilitating work with adults, but they're distinguished by their knowledge and expertise in process. And so we're very thankful to the certified trainers. And there's a number of people who aren't up here, who are about to be up here, who have gone through our work this summer and have been really stellar, and we're really appreciative of that. I want to kind of move on and talk about the schools. It's a concerted effort to get all those moving pieces together. And so everybody in this room is doing really hard work to run a school. And we have a particular set of schools who have demonstrated excellence in implementation of school culture, student-centered instruction, and technology. So I would like to recognize the demonstration sites. If I could have the directors of these sites please stand up. Recognize the demonstration sites. Thank you. These are the sites that have been demonstration sites for the last year or more, and these schools have hosted 4,000 visitors this year alone. And there are a group of 7 schools actually that hosted 2/3 of those visits. So I'd like to just kind of call out specifically Napa, Columbus Signature Academy, Anson New Tech, Manor New Tech, Student Empowerment, and Los Angeles School of Global Studies for hosting 2/3 of those visitors. I also would like to recognize that we have a lot of schools that opened this year, and it's quite an achievement to get through your first year, survive, and make it to the conference. And so all of those schools who opened have done a great job, and we have a small number of those schools who've not only survived, but demonstrated excellence in their implementation to the point that when other people come to their site, they clearly feel and see the things that we value. And so I'd like to recognize these new schools. If I could have the directors of these schools stand up, they're new for 2011-2012. I'd like to highlight that the Da Vinci Charter Academy has actually been open for 7 years, but this is their first year joining us as a demonstration site, so we're very excited about that. So I'd like to kind of move on and talk about a couple of groups of individuals who really made this conference possible. Each year we have a group of volunteers who do a lot of phone calls, frankly, and give us feedback about the ideas that we have for our conferences. And so that group is called the NTAC Advisory Committee, and I'm going to invite them to come up in just a minute. I want to share a little bit of what the Advisory Committee has added to this conference, particularly for the Advisory Committee members who may not feel like we have talked about their input, but we had several ideas that came from them that I wanted to highlight. So one of those was a recommendation that we have a library of books available available in the Innovation Lab. And those books have been slowly disappearing as they've been kind of given away through Twitter, et cetera. So that's been wonderful to have those books. Additionally, they made the recommendation that we have teams of schools work together on problems, and so that's in our coaching clinics this afternoon for those who chose to participate. They also requested meeting times to be available for the schools, which we've added, and they also gave some initial feedback on having Alfie Kohn as our keynote. And I will say they gave some great feedback about recommendations we could make to him, and we did provide the recommendations, and we were thankful he came to speak and spoke his mind, and we appreciated that. So I'd like to have that advisory committee come up here and be recognized. Advisory committee, come on. See you too in a minute. One of our advisory committee members had to make a choice between training at New Schools or becoming a trainer here at NTEC, so she was at New Schools, Claudia Azevedo, who wasn't here. But we have Joanne Novak from Bloomington, Mike Reed from Columbus Signature Academy, Matt Thompson from Aikens New Tech, and Christine Coit from Sacramento. And joining us now is Connor, who is of multiple New Tech schools, and we're thankful to have him. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Matt and Christine, who are going to talk about the Best in Network Award.
All right, so this is the second annual Best in Network Award. It is an award from our network to our network to recognize the amazing and impactful projects that are happening all throughout the network schools. Projects from every subject area were submitted from all over the country by students, by teachers, and by administrators. And then based on the feedback provided during the nomination process, all of these projects had achieved a lasting impact in the minds of the students, most importantly.
A representative panel of teachers, administrators, and network staff reviewed all nominated projects based on the 6 A's rubric, which outlines key components of a successful project. So things like authenticity, academic rigor, applied learning, active exploration, adult connections, and assessment practices. Through this review, we were able to narrow down the list to the top 3. As teachers, reviewing these projects was an inspirational process and broadened our perspectives on what a great project could be.
So we have 3 finalists, and each standing out for various reasons. The first is El Libro de la Amistad, Daryl Lee at Capel. Yep. Find your nearest Spanish teacher for a translation there. We've got Let's Get Wired, Gail Nowles at Columbus Signature Academy. And then finally, last but not least, The Last Generation, a World War II documentary, Heather Hester and Chad Russell at Columbus Signature Academy. So we'd like to invite them up to the stage now, please, if they could head this way. While they're on the way up here, we'll kind of talk through some of the projects and give you a quick summary of what happened.
In El Libro de la Amistad, Daryl Lee's students met the needs of their school district, which had, due to funding issues, eliminated the Spanish program in all of their elementary schools. The students wrote, illustrated, and presented original children's stories to over 600 children in their district. Additionally, they created Spanish mini lessons to inspire students in the district to learn Spanish. Teresa Tate, ESL coordinator for the district, said that the project was a powerful tool for the young authors from New Tech High to demonstrate their learning while giving back to others in their school district and advancing the value of learning and embracing a second language.
In Let's Get Wired, Gail Nowles physics students used their classroom learning to wire a house for Housing Partnerships, Inc., a nonprofit that refurbishes homes for low-income families. Prior to working on the job site, students learned about circuits, energy, power, charge, resistance, voltage, and current. Students had to achieve a 70% on all written assignments and demonstrate mastery of designing and wiring real household circuits on mock walls in order to qualify to work on the job site itself. Now saw test scores rise dramatically, as well as homework completion. Junior student Jordan Patterson said of the project, "I was totally out of my comfort zone, but it was actually fun. It's awesome that we got to do this for real and somebody's actually going to live here. I'll be able to drive by and always say, I did that."
In The Last Generation, a World War II documentary, Heather Hester and Chad Russell's students created a documentary to retell the stories of 12 local World War II veterans and 2 of their wives, which was then shown to the public during a limited engagement at Yes Cinema. In addition to creating the film, the students also fundraised money in order to donate to the Wounded Warriors Project, which supports severely wounded servicemen from the Iraq and Afghanistan conflict and the global war on terrorism. Every student in the junior class participated in the project, serving as camera operators, interviewers, researchers, editors, marketers, and fundraisers. They all felt the pressure to do the stories justice. According to Russell, this project just made that era come alive for the kids. We got to the point that they wanted so much information, it was hard for me to keep up.
So in reviewing all of these outstanding projects, it was definitely a challenge to get to the final 3, and even more of a challenge to pick a winner from such great projects. So let's give one more round of applause for 3 wonderful projects. But without further ado, the winner is Let's Get Wired, Gail Nowles at Columbus Signature Academy. So we really felt Gail's project epitomized what project-based learning is all about, and if she's up for it, we'd like to have her maybe say a couple of words about the impact it had on her students.
I'm surprised. Thank you so much. And the students really grew so much in this project, and so did I. When we walked into the house the first day, it wasn't, I would say, a house typical for most of my students. And one of the girls walking through the door, she just kind of looked and she said, "Oh my gosh, it's so dirty and it's so small." And she said, "You know, I've done mission work in Mississippi, but I didn't think we had this problem in Columbus, Indiana." And they just really gave back to the community, and it was a great experience for me and them. But I want to thank the people at our school that supported me, Andy Larson and Michelle, or they covered my classes for me while I was on the job site. And Mike Reed was so supportive. He got me subs and just was really helpful. And everybody else at CSA for helping make this happen. Thank you.